I am ready for that.
like like these. I don't know if you can see them. And
They're beautiful. Are
thank
they
you. I make them, and then I have others. They're designed for me, so they're all laser cut, and yeah, it's cray cray.
so are
Yeah,
they are
look
they
at
wood?
yeah, bamboo. Oh my god, this is my favorite one. These are my favorites, but they relax me. It's the teacher in me.
So you don't do the wood itself, like you design it and then you send it to someone else to cut. Is that right?
Correct. See, and then I assemble them, and I put them all together.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah, so I make earrings. That's crazy.
I want to know all the things that you do. Somebody's already hanging out with us. Ken
I-
is here and Scott is here. Hello. So, Pat, do people call you Pat? I don't know why I just decided that I can call you Pat.
Patrick is
I
fine.
don't know why I called you Pat. I'm sorry, Patrick. So Ken tunes in every week, and he has run every single day for the past
Wow.
300 something days in a row, at least
Ken,
4 miles a day. Isn't that crazy?
Ken, you're amazing.
I know. I like walk, and I'm really proud of myself.
Oh my
Christian is
god.
here. Hey, Christian. So I can't tell you, Patrick. I'm glad. I'm still frustrated that I just decided I have a nickname for you.
You could call me. You could call me Pat if you want to call me Pat. Like my because I'm part Irish, and so my brother, they all call me Patty.
Okay.
So you can call me Patty if you want.
Patty.
Nobody
Oh,
calls me Patty.
I'll call
So,
you
but
Patty.
they call me Patty. They call me. I don't know why they call me Patty, but it's such an Irish. We can talk about how Irish I am as well, which is pretty interesting. I
Can
have an
we
interesting
please?
story. Yeah, it's very interesting.
So I
So,
have to tell you, we met. Was it in February that we met
yeah, it's in February.
on Bruce Swan's "Music My Mother Would Not Like" series?
Yes.
And when I heard you play in sound check, I hadn't heard you play yet, and you were just so nice. I was like, I like this guy. But then you played, and I think that I told you that it was like butter or like a lint truffle.
And a lint truffle.
You're playing, it's just so rich and beautiful, and you could just melt into it. But just you as a person are so cool. I don't know, you're just impossible to dislike.
You're cool. I'm.
And
I'm.
I almost feel like because you're going to play the guitar tonight, I should put mine down.
No.
You are just in
Don't.
another world. I want
Don't
to prepare
put it.
people for
Don't
how
put it. Don't even. We just want people because I miss people. Right? We
I
all
know.
miss people. It's been so difficult with the pandemic. But this was my first time traveling to when I traveled to Virginia. I felt like I was back on the road again. I
Did it
stayed
feel
at a
amazing?
girl. I stayed at a hotel,
You didn't.
and I used the same things. You know how like we all have our thing, right? Like so for my thing is this. I go in. I know it's bad. The first thing I do is put the TV on, and that's it. I just and hear the noise. Oh my gosh! And yeah, that's the first thing I do is get that TV on and I pace and I walk around. I'm like, okay. And then I situate everything around the room where I want it to be because it's my room, right?
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, I felt like I was back on the road again.
You're making me like itchy to go get into a hotel.
Oh yeah, and yeah, I was in there and it was, it was totally clean. They had their, it was really, they were sanitizing constantly. And I'm fortunate enough as an educator that I was, vaccinated, and I feel confident, but still want to be very safe, right?
Yeah. And I get it. I'm so excited. My friend Sally Johnson is here. She is very involved. Do you attend the regional folk alliances?
I used to. I so the here the West Coast one. We used to do that quite a bit actually, and I did one national one years ago with the Slack Key Masters. So that was really neat too. I think that was in San Diego. That was years ago.
So I only attended a folk conference because of Sally Johnson, and she has Sally
Wow.
Johnson Presents, and I'm just so excited that she gets to hear you
Sally, we
tonight.
love you, Sally, because folks like you help folks like us.
So
And
true.
so you know what I mean? You get us out into the to the open.
Yes. Yes. So
Yeah.
I want to introduce you a little bit more. So Patrick Landeza is, can I say master?
You can say whatever you want. I'm
My description is that you were a master of the Hawaiian slack key guitar.
there you go. Sure.
And for those of us who do not know what slack key guitar is, can you give us a brief?
So the slacky guitar is it's a certain way of playing, but most importantly, it's the tuning. So I can go over that as well with everybody later on about why they call it slack key guitar, because there is a reason why. It's not like I'm slacking, but there's a amazing reason, and there's a story. There's always a story, right,
Oh, and
Grace?
you've got great stories.
I love stories.
Do you want to play a song?
Oh, I love songs.
Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely. Here's a slack key piece to get you guys all in the mood. This is what I call Aloha. You guys heard of Aloha Friday? This is Aloha Monday. You know what I mean? So, and he goes, here's a little slack key. Slack key guitar, in its purest form.
Oh my gosh. That's
You
what
can
I
just
said.
relax.
Yeah, that's like an audio lint truffle. It's beautiful.
I like that. An audio lint truffle.
Feel free to use it.
I
Um,
like it's an audio macadamia lint truffle.
oh yes, yes. So, and it ties in because you have the. Ken says it's beautiful also.
Thank you.
Um, so you are a master of the slack key guitar. You're a full-time teacher.
Correct.
You have a restaurant or
Correct.
catering business, and you make earrings. Did I miss anything? And you're a father of 5.
I'm a father of 5. I'm an author, so I have 2 books out. Yeah, so two
Guitar?
books, children's book, and I've in my memoirs as well too. So I have an interesting story. So people go, "You're so young. You're too young to write your memoirs," but I've done enough things to have lived a couple lives. So it's really neat, and I don't want to forget.
Yeah.
So the key thing was I didn't want to forget, and I wanted to leave something for my children as well too. So yeah, we never use that term loosely, right, master, and it's always by, okay, well, it depends on who's talking. I learned from the grand masters, the greats of Hawaiian slack key guitar, the late great Dennis Kamakahi, the late great Cyril Pahinui, whose daddy was, of course, Gabby Pahinui. And who Gabby Pahinui was is the folk hero of Hawaii. So
Mm.
like he's like the Bob Marley figure of Hawaii, And when you hear Israel, Israel, he does the, the Somewhere Over the Rainbow, that
Yes.
one song. Well, right before on the recording, he says, "This one's for Gabby." I mean, that's how much Gabby meant to all of us. Of course, I never got to know Gabby. He passed away in the mid '80s, early '80s. But his son. Cyril Pahinui was like a second dad to me. And, in the back, you see all these pictures of all these old timers and all these grandmasters and me when I had lots of hair. And it's, I'm extremely honored because you're able to perpetuate and carry on within the same traditions and my own culture and especially my heritage. So, you know, um, that's why, when you're able to do this and get their blessings, they were the original masters of this art. Yeah. So
Mm.
yeah.
And is there a part of it? So I'm just curious as a mom. So whenever I pick up my guitar, let me back up. I want to pass music on to my son, and I want it to be a thing that he can hold on to.
Right.
Every time I pick up the guitar, he says, "No, Mama, no."
Right. 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 So because I have 5 of them, I learned from each one. They don't listen. So so that's why I wrote the book. So when you write the children's book and you put in Hawaii you call them kauna, hidden meanings, and they read the children's book and they read the story about wow, about who they are and where they came from. And I hide these little tiny things in there, like Uncle Dennis or Uncle Cyril, these masters of Slaki, who are their God, father, and I hide it in there, and then I read the book to them, and when they're young, and I put them as characters in the book. So you can't help but not listen and not pay attention. And I think, Grace, that's the teacher in me. But most importantly, you just never know. And I want my children to fully understand that some of the sacrifices that they made, Daddy is a musician, did not, it was for them and for their future. So for better understanding. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's how, but you're so right. They don't want to listen. You have to make up like, kids songs about what they're doing. And, it's just like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's like, and that's fine because I can do, it's like, what, it's like, no, Daddy, we're watching, Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is cool. Mickey Mouse is cool, but so is Daddy too. I mean, or they could be doing all these things, and it's like, oh, Daddy, that's really cool. That's really cool. Go brush your teeth. Go brush your teeth. You better brush your teeth, or they won't be neat. I mean, whatever. Right? I mean, we're off the cuff,
Yeah.
but that, and then also in the classroom, and you bring that spirit in the classroom as well too, and nothing really changes because they learn better. When you have somebody that is able to connect with them. So yeah.
I had
So
a musical connection moment. And not just that she's having a hard time hearing me. So if anybody else is having a hard time hearing me, let me know. I can turn up a little bit. So my son and I he doesn't often like to listen to music with me because he wants to do what he wants to do. He is 2. And most of what he wants to do is sing the Finger Family song. Do you know that song?
oh no.
Daddy Finger, where are you? All day long, all day long. But the other day, I just on a whim put music on while he was eating his lunch,
Right.
and the thong song came on. And I turned around, and he was rocking out to the thong
Oh,
song. And then he made me play the thong song like 5 more times. And
like the thong song, thong, the thong, thong, thong.
yes, yes.
Hey.
And like that's the first time my son and I connected over music was the thong song. So that's probably important. We should probably remember that.
We have to remember, it's like we have to remember those things, and yeah, and I think that's who we are as musicians. It's like if you can't read a crowd, if you can't read your own children, then how are you going to read a crowd, right?
It's so true.
Right.
Yes. And
they're
my
the
son wants to hear 5 Little Monkeys, The Finger Family, and the thong song. I got his set list down.
You can do the acoustic version of the thong song. You know what I mean? That
Well,
would be that would be so you can incorporate it into, maybe we can do Birchmere together and just do the thong song or something,
that would
or
be fun. So I should do that because I do have a version of Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise. Like
that's what I'm talking about.
I can do hip hop.
Yeah, I mean, I am hip hop. This is a whole nother hat since I am from the Bay,
I
but
need to know more. Sally suggests that
I
if
love
you,
Sally.
I do too. Can you turn your volume down just a tiny little bit? And
Sure.
maybe that would balance.
The volume of my vocal.
Yeah, let's try. Or maybe a guitar a tiny little bit too.
Oh
And
yeah.
I just want to let everyone know I am no master of the guitar. But I'm gonna do. So I wrote this song that my dad always wanted me to be a country singer, country or blues. He would have been happy either way. But he always would say, "Come on, they want foot tapping music. Play foot tapping music." So I always would judge audience reaction based on how many feet were tapping. And I've lost that this year. I haven't seen one foot tap when I play. It's so sad. Anyway, I wrote this song. Okay, Ken says he can hear us both. I wrote this song because I was trying to do that thing my dad wanted me to do, which was have a little foot tapping and a little twang and maybe a little cowboy. So this is going to be on my... I hate to say forthcoming album because I feel like that sounds pretentious, but it will be on my forthcoming album.
There you go.
I'm gonna do this one. And just throw it to everybody. I think I put it as a clickable link on the top. We would love it so much if you're able to contribute to our virtual tip jar. But if you are not, we understand. And just liking our Facebook pages and following us on the internet makes a big difference. So I'm gonna put my page up here. All right, this song's called Free. What the hell was I thinking of when I let you turn the key? My tongue is tied, my breath is short. I didn't let you get the best of me. I heard the tires rumble, I felt the earth shake. I knew my hands trembled. Maybe my biggest mistake is wanting to find a life not needing anyone else to be. So I'm free. It's just me, and I'm free. What the hell was I thinking of when I didn't call you back? I came up short with the words to say. What an embarrassment. I heard the bells ringing, I started to sweat. I almost picked it up. Maybe my biggest regret is wanting to find a life not needing anyone else to be. So I'm free. It's just me, and I'm free. Feel my heart beating. God, I can't relax. Sometimes love is fleeting. Sometimes it comes back. I am wanting to find a life spent loving somebody else, but it's me. And I'm free. It's just me, and I'm free. I just love Patrick Landeza.
I love it. Hey, I see you saw that. I figured that out. I am multitasking.
I am impressed.
I'm impressed myself, girl. I see. I just love I love your sound. It's like you're like the greatest thing is like once you approach the mic and your approach is like bam. So my wife, when that night, right? We're sitting there and she's doing work on the bed, and then all of a sudden, you sang, and then the first thing she says is, "I swear I wasn't expecting that." And I go, "That's what I'm saying, right? That's what." And that's what I love. It's like, bam, and then off the mic, "Hey y'all," like I go, "That's crazy." It's like me. I was like, "That's crazy." So I love that. That made me feel so free.
Oh, thank you.
That was so cool.
That was when I used to perform in bars. That was always my favorite thing to do, is to come in really unassuming and then
Right,
open
right.
with Gangsta's Paradise. Like
That's
nobody who would expect that.
exactly. That is what I'm talking about.
Laura says aloha, cousin.
Aloha, Laura. That's my cousin. I
And
mean,
Dave,
I got a lot of cousins. They're all, Sarah, my cousin too. So I mean, so we got a lot of cousins coming out.
I love it. I love it. And my friend Dave Schulenberg is here. Dave, I would love an update. So Dave has been in a wheelchair. I don't know for how long, but he had set a goal to be walking by Christmas.
Oh wow.
And and he had taken some steps the last time we talked. So I want an update. Okay, I have a practical question for you, Patrick Landeza.
I'm ready.
So, in case anyone doesn't know, your catering business is relatively new. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's like it's like 4 months old, 5 months old. So we outgrew our first kitchen, and now we're on our second kitchen. So yes,
And it's Landeza's Island.
Landeza's Island. Yeah,
Okay, so I looked at your website because I was intrigued and I wanted to know if I could order some food. From Landeza's.
you're so funny. So
And-
we do delivery.
Yeah, you can deliver to me in Massachusetts. So anyway, I was looking at your menu and I saw a lot of Portuguese food items, and I was intrigued because I live near New Bedford, Massachusetts, which has a very big Portuguese population.
Right.
And they also make Gaspar's meat. I don't know if you're familiar with that brand. And so, like, I hadn't realized that that's not common. Like, I just took for granted that you can get chorizo and linguiça and all these things here. My stepdaughter goes to school in Pennsylvania and she can't get any of that food. So then
Wow.
when I saw your website, I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool." And then I remembered, correct me if I am completely wrong. I went to we have the Portuguese feast here, and they do this big parade with ukuleles, and I thought, "Why are these Portuguese people carrying Hawaiian instruments?" But it's because the Portuguese brought the ukulele to Hawaii. Is that correct?
They brought an instrument that's similar to the ukulele, and the Hawaiians copied it and called it the ukulele.
Okay.
So, yeah, Portuguese are very prominent in Hawaii because of the plantation.
See,
Because
I never would have known that.
sugar, because of the plantation, pineapple fields. They worked the fields, or they were the lunas or the bosses as well too. So, yeah, and that's why. Now, of course, we can. Linguiça is very accessible here, but Hawaiian style Portuguese sausage is not as it's not as, I don't know, it's not as strong as linguiça. And
Caserla?
yeah, it's lighter and it's delicious. And so even in Hawaii, even in McDonald's in Hawaii, they sell Portuguese sausage, eggs, and rice.
You were telling me that. That's so cool.
Yeah. So we came up with a recipe that's similar because I was tired of paying all this money for linguiça. And so we make sausage, and it's been a hit. People and I've never made sausage before, so, oh my gosh, I can add that to my list. I'm a sausage maker.
And so isn't there a saying like, if you make the sausage, you don't want to eat it? Is that true?
Correct.
Is that true for you?
It was great for the first weekend, but I don't want to eat Portuguese sausage right now at all.
So if anybody, whereabouts do you deliver? It's certainly not to Massachusetts because you're in California.
I deliver in the Bay, so I deliver all Northern California pretty much. So we branch out all throughout like the Bay Area here. So yeah, so ever since COVID, the model has been delivery, and so I sell poke, and poke is raw fish, and I sell poke by the pound. A lot of places will have poke bowls now,
Yeah.
but I don't do poke bowls in Hawaii. We just do poke by the pound, so you can buy the poke and then go home and make your own bowl.
See,
How's that?
I've seen poke bowls on menus before, but I didn't know that's how you pronounced it. So I was like, "What's a poke bowl? Is it because you just poke the food? Like, why is it a poke bowl?"
Yeah,
Anyway,
that wouldn't be too appetizing, girl.
my ignorance.
That wouldn't be too appetizing. But no, I mean, and so the catering has really picked up, and the food, because I also I wouldn't say also deal, and because it's really like a hustle, but poi, and those products that are coming from Kauai or Kauai, that you can't get here. And so I guess now that makes me a distributor. But what happens is that those communities are suffering. So Kauai just, they just had a horrible storm, took out the bridge, took out the road on in Honolulu, and the poi couldn't get out, and now the farmers suffer. Right, everybody suffers. But I said, if you can find a way to get it out, I'll find a way to sell it. That way we can help that community as well.
What is
And
poi?
poi is taro. And so do you know what taro is?
I
So
know that
taro,
it's in bubble tea, like taro sugar. Is that
true
right?
that, true, yeah. But it's so this particular taro comes from Hanalei, Kauai. So each taro is different. It's like potatoes, but each potato is different. You have a russet potato, you have, your golden potatoes. So this particular type of taro is very special when it comes to poi. And poi is a starch. It's poi is the root, and it's very symbolic to the Hawaiians as the root of our people. Kalo is it's very 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 spiritual for us, though it is it's something that we sustain ourselves with. And so I love poi, and I love taro, and I love the whole notion that we can get it on the mainland.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to maneuver through lots of things. So that's what I do. Is I go to different communities. That's why I was just in Virginia, and I bring them poi. And folks like Virginia are unable to get poi, but there are a lot of transplanted Hawaiians and Hawaii people there that they get emotional because that's part of their home, right?
Yeah.
Home is always key,
Yeah.
just that whole notion and the sense of home,
Yes.
So
Yes.
so yeah, so that's what I do.
I am starving, and so is Ernie.
I'm hungry too.
Ernie just said that they're hungry and would like to know where their smoked chicken and poke is.
There you go, Ernie. I will smoke you some chicken and poke. I'll bring it. Don't worry, Ernie. Don't worry. I got you.
Do you have
I
any food-related songs?
um
You don't have to. There's no pressure.
I mean, I can make one up right now, but no, I mean, I don't think I do. But when it comes to the songs, like for instance, I'm always inspired by food, and when you eat it, sometimes you have this epiphany. It was like, oh my gosh, this reminds me of a place. This reminds me, of somebody. And so Hawaiians are known for their compositions about people, about places, right? About these things. And my mentor, the late great Dennis Kamakahi, was considered Hawaii's greatest composer and songwriter, only second to the Queen.
Wow.
And so,
Did
you
she
know,
compose for someone like me who's completely ignorant that da 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 da?
yes,
She composed that.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, and
So
pronounce the queen's name for me because I've tried and I don't want to be wrong.
Queen Liliuokalani.
Okay, that's not how I said it.
There you go.
I
We
did
just call
not
her Queen.
call her queen.
Just call her Queen. She's a queen.
So
She's
what are
the
you
queen.
gonna play for us next?
I'm gonna sing a song. How's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll sing a song. And again, it's Monday and it's mellow. And just want to dedicate this to all of you folks. When I was younger, my mother comes from Ho'olehua, Molokai. My father, he came from Kahuku, so they're very on Oahu. They're very country people, yeah. But when I was younger, my mother would sing to me, and I just loved it when she would sing. I always wondered, sometimes, she sang a lot. And it's like, why, later on in life, I was like, why did you sing so much to me? Then she had said, because one day I'd pray that you would sing these same songs back. This is a really neat song. And there was always a call and response to this, when she would sing, and she would go, eyes so blue. And then us kids, we go, eyes so blue, love so true, love so true. Pretty feet, across the street, across the street. And so I sing this now with my little ones as well too. But whenever I play it, I dedicate it to my mother. The song talks about a Malihini girl and a Hawaiian boy, and how this Hawaiian boy fell in love with this fair-skinned girl as she would walk across the street with her pretty feet, and her mother owned a candy store. Beautiful song called Kalai o Kaena. Kalai o Kaena, e upi ai ka ua. Koloha vela vela, koloha ia'u nei, me ue ho'i au, e ho'i po ai. Hoa pili o kaina malihini, eyes so blue, sing along. Eyes so blue, love so true, love so true. Pretty feet, pretty feet. There you go. Across the street, across the street. Her name is Nova, and I adore her. Her mother keeps a little candy store. Au hea oe, au e li anei. Ngā hola pau, I pili mau ia, e humana o ana. I kole o nani, he pa'a mau nei ku'u vai. Eyes so blue, eyes so blue, love so true, love so true. Pretty feet, across the street, across the street. Her name is Nova, and I adore her. Mother keeps a little candy store. So my mother, she lives in a facility, full-time care facility. And, you know, I would go over and I would sing to my mom. And we'd sing these same songs that I remember as a child. And then you would see all these wheelchairs gathering around us. It's like a concert, you know. And I would go every week. And afterwards, they would go to us and my mother, and they go, thank you. They say, thank you so much, Patrick, playing. Or, Francis, you're so lucky. You can sing with your son. The pandemic has been difficult. And so only now, for the first time in over a year, I was able to sing with my mother last week. And it was magic. And with all these smiling faces around us, and thanking my mom and my mother says, "Come, come." And I bend down to her in her wheelchair. She says, "This is why Mama sang to you." Song called Kalai o Kaena. Yay!
Ooh, that's so beautiful.
Thank you. It was so neat to see my mom last week, man. We were singing away, and
Uh,
she has dementia, but she remembers every single song. And I go, do you remember me?" And she starts laughing. Of course I do, Patrick. And that's what I want to hear.
yeah.
So,
Oh.
and the second thing she said was, "Did you bring my poke?" You gotta love it, Grace. Yes, Mom. Yes, I did. I brought your poke.
Oh,
So,
that
but
is just so beautiful. And isn't it? I mean, music, just the way it can connect us, even now. My dad grew up in the 50s.
yeah,
I feel like I got quieter there for a second. My dad, he was born in 1940, and so whenever I hear 50s music, I think of my dad. And
right.
the other night, what song was it? I'm the type of guy who likes to roam around. You know that song?
Yeah, yeah.
That made me weep uncontrollably because I'm just like, of all the songs to cry to, but I'm like, oh, that's my dad.
That is awesome.
And it's just such a beautiful thing the way it can transcend time.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. I mean, with music and food, when
Yeah.
you walk into someone's house and you smell that dish you remember as a child, it takes you back. It reminds me of my dad. It reminds
Yeah.
me of my dad's kitchen. Music is a trigger, and so it's like, right, Grace, when we're in front of people, we activate, and we know exactly because we're. I think that I'm at the truest form when I'm on stage,
Yeah.
and then I return back and I'm ready to like cook you a meal. And we've just got finished playing for like all these people. Let me cook you something. Are you crazy? But no, you're right. Those songs,
I like the way you
absolutely.
just articulated how music and when you're performing makes you activate because it's so true. Like I'm just one thing, and then I get on stage, and all of a sudden it's like, boop, okay, here I am, and it's really hard to turn that off after the show too.
Right. That's why I come home to a TV that's on.
Yes, in the
You
hotel room. Yes.
exactly, exactly. Because I don't want to go. I don't want to enter in anything that's empty after I just gave. It's the
Yeah.
most weirdest thing, Grace. I swear, it is the most. I mean, I'm wasting electricity, and it is the most interesting thing. But I must have that TV on when I walk into the room. So maybe it's a part of who we are. We give so much, and whether it's in the classroom or on stage, or even making earrings, it's a part of us. And so these are how some of the things that we do to wind down.
I feel you on the TV thing, and for me specifically, it's best if it's Law and Order.
You are too funny. You know what? The weirdest thing is, like, sometimes I just turn it on, and of course, it just ends up on the Weather Channel. So I'm like, what? Why is the storm again on the Weather Channel? Or like, oh, because it goes straight to the Weather Channel. So, hey, can we give away some earrings? Is that cool?
You want to do an earring giveaway?
Yeah, I'm gonna mail it to people. So ask them a question because you have access. And what I want to give away is I want to give away these. Oh, these are really nice. So it's all sterling. I make earrings, and so they're working on my she shed right now in the back.
Your she
So
shed?
yeah, so I posted that today. It's like, you mean your man cave? I go, nah, that's my she shed for my earrings. And then oh, for Jen, your wife. No, and Jen goes, yeah, it's for him. It's his she shed. I want my she shed. So anyway, I make earrings and I make jewelries, and so this one is a really nice design. Where are you at? A nice design. Kind of hard to multitask, but Grace, you're gonna ask a question or something,
Yeah, a
and then
trivia question.
yeah, and then I have a couple earrings that I can give out, and it's sterling silver, the backing, so you don't, as my wife says, so nobody gets itchy. I love these, and I
They're
make them
beautiful.
all. I make them all. I make earrings, y'all. It's
And
very
Sally likes
random.
earrings. Sally likes earrings. She wants to win this trivia question. Okay,
Okay,
so the beginning of the pandemic, every Wednesday, I went to a local business and I did trivia and did a similar thing. And I usually prepared questions. So I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head.
I got 3 earrings, so you
Okay.
can. You Sally gonna get some eventually.
Okay. So, all right. So this is going to be a food-related trivia question.
Ooh,
We'll do this off the top of my head because I live on cranberry bogs. We're cranberry farmers, and
ooh.
you can harvest cranberries in one of two ways. You can do dry picked cranberries, or you can wet pick the cranberries. And I want to know the first person to tell us what can a wet picked cranberry be used for. And maybe I'll play a song while we wait. This might have been an
Yes,
easy question, but
yes.
I'll do a song while we wait. So you were talking about your mom, and so I'm going to sing a song that I wrote for my son.
Oh,
Um, before he was born, I was 8 months pregnant, and I got this really cool opportunity to go write with Lori McKenna. Do you know Lori McKenna?
I do. I know who she is. I've never met Lori McKenna, but I do know who she is.
A salt of the earth human being. And if people don't know who she is, she's like a multiple Grammy winner, and it was daunting because I was just trying to like play it cool the whole time. So anyway, I'm sitting in her basement, 8 months pregnant. And she said, "Okay, what would you like to write about?" And I said, "Well, anything except the baby because that feels too obvious." And she kind of humored me for a minute, and then she said, "Okay, but we're going to write about the baby, right?" So we did. And oh, my mom came up. I don't think my mom gets to win this, even though she was right.
Oh, how adorable!
Annette has the correct answer. So wet picked cranberries can be used for juice
Really?
and or cranberry sauce, but that is it.
Oh,
They cannot be sold as fresh
aw.
fruit.
Hi, Joyce. How nice your mommy's here.
Oh, she's here every Monday.
That is
Um,
adorable.
so anyway, we start writing this song, and the crux of the song was that I have the 3 teenage stepdaughters. And when we first got married, everybody said to me, "Oh, you're marrying someone with 3 teenage girls. Good luck." And I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, what could possibly be difficult about that?" I didn't get it. But in retrospect, you can understand why it would be difficult on multiple levels, not only to have a new woman enter your home, but to
Right.
then have a child. And so, what I just wanted them all to know was that no matter what, the baby was going to love them and think they were the best things ever. And it's true. He thinks they're the coolest. So, this is called Just Loving You. And I'm going to throw this up. Not carrying a big bag. He won't have much to say. Might not look just like you, but he's yours anyway. He might be carrying a band-aid, a cure, or a dream come true, but he's coming into this world just loving you. Won't have change in his pocket, no debts to pay. He won't change the station. He'll like any song you play. He won't be mad at your mother or your dad. He won't know how love can be cruel. No, he's coming into this world just loving you. Love ain't no simple thing. hearts were protected, we wouldn't have to hide. Others have let you down. We all know it's true. But he's coming into this world just loving you. So put down your baggage and give yourself time. He's looking toward you with no fear in his eyes. He doesn't know why you cry or you're hurt, or why anyone would want solitude. But he's coming into this world just loving you. Love ain't no simple thing. We all have to think twice. Hearts made of paper wear out in time. Cradles and blankets are all out in full view. And he's coming into this world just loving you. Oh, he's coming into this world just loving you.
I love that.
Thank you. I was just thinking in the end that could be so cool with your style of guitar on it. Like
What key is that in?
maybe C. And I guess that's just me wanting to play with you no matter what.
That's loving you. I hear
Yes.
it.
Ah,
I know. I was hearing. I was. That is such a. I like that. The last that catch.
the going to the 2.
Yeah. That was so gorgeous. Play it.
Oh. You.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. That's so pretty.
I'm
Yeah,
really
no, I love
excited.
that song. I love that song.
My friend Teddy did the harmonies on that song on the album version, and man, I mean he sings like Beyonce. So
Dude.
the harmonies stacked in that moment.
That is awesome. No, I heard that song on Spotify. I'm a Spotify fan of yours, so
Yay!
I'm
Speaking of
Spotify.
which, I'm so glad you mentioned that because is your music on Spotify?
Yeah. I'm on Spotify too. So,
So
but yeah.
I have a virtual world tour Spotify playlist.
Oh, nice.
And I always add the music of my guest on
Okay.
the next day. So everybody, make sure you follow the playlist. I'll post it tomorrow, and then you'll have Patrick's music on there and everything else.
I love it.
So Annette looks like Annette won our earring giveaway.
Annette, you got plenty earrings.
I'm really excited about the whole earring thing.
I have more. So let's do another one. This one is really cool too. I like these another designs. And so you think of the question. Oh, sorry. You think of the question as well too. And then what we'll do is we'll have them DM. They can DM me their addresses. So Annette, I think I just go ahead and DM me your address, but we can think of another question. We'll just keep asking questions. Let's give stuff away, girl.
I am in. So can you do a song? And Annette says the earrings are for her daughter-in-law.
Oh.
Will you do a song, and then I'll think of a really good trivia question?
There you go.
Okay.
All right. Oh, so in the back of me, I have pictures of the uncles, and we call them the uncles because we don't call people Mr. and Mrs. in Hawaii. Our term of endearment is uncles. And again, Cyril Pahinui and Dennis Kamakahi were my biggest mentors, and I just miss them to pieces. th- this is a song that Uncle Sarah would always sing, and it talks about the different districts on Oahu, and it goes a little like this. It's called Hinani Ka'ala. Hinani Ka'ala lai la lai lai tuahivi nani oi lai la lai. Hinani Ka'ala lai la lai lai tuahivi nani oi lai la lai. Hinani Ka'ala lai la lai lai tuahivi nani oi lai la lai lai. Hinani Ka'ala lai la lai lai tuahivi nani oi lai la lai la lai la lai la lai. Hinuanu au lai 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 kamakaniko o lau lai lai lai. Hinuanu au lai 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 kamakaniko o lau lai lai lai. Hinuanu au lai 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 kamakaniko o lau lai lai lai. Hinuanu au lai 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 kamakaniko o lau lai 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 lai. Aina Ka'ala lai 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 tuhivi nani oe lai lai lai. Aina Ka'ala lai 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 tuhivi nani oe lai 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 lai. Yeah. Song called Hinani Ka'ala. There you go. Yay!
I love that one.
It's really bouncy, it's a cool song. It's a
Oh, I
tropical.
love.
It's a tropical song. So
I know. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing Ma Ri says they miss seeing you live like this.
oh, I know. Thank you. I don't really do live anymore. I'm coming back.
Oh no, did we lose Patrick? Can everybody still hear me? I think Patrick froze. Let me hold on, I'm gonna double check here. Unless someone can tell me if they can still hear me.
Hi.
Oh, there you are. Okay. It froze for a second.
I lost you. But yeah, I really appreciate. Oh, and like I said, this has been so much fun. But the people now know me for food, and the food people don't know that I play music, and so that's really weird.
So is there a world, because you teach in a public school, do you teach music?
No, I teach social sciences, so I'm a former social studies teacher and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, it's
Is
not.
there a world in which, like, if your music took off to an extent where it could pay every bill, you would drop everything else and just do music, or same like with the catering?
So
Or do you need all of that just for your soul?
so when I was younger, so 15 years of Swananoa. You've heard of Swananoa folk
No.
camp, the camp in North Carolina. Yeah, the Swananoa gathering. Spent 15 years there, in just just being a teacher of music. But I don't teach music at school. So I work at a private school. I work at a private Catholic school. And so what I do is, in order to satisfy these things, I write liturgical music that kids can sing and makes me happy. If that makes any sense to you.
Yes.
And so I do it in a way, I do it in a sneaky way. But the reason why I was brought into the school was because nobody was singing. And because the kids don't want to sing, traditional songs. So you have to just adapt it in a way to make it work for them. So I did Carnegie Hall 2013. Um,
Wait, what?
with yeah, I did Carnegie 2013 with a group um, called Listen for Life, and they called us the Power of Seven, and there were seven world musicians, and I was one of them representing Hawaii. And so, I took a break because I had to practice, right? So I took a break from teaching, but that's probably about the only break. So the answer to your question is school balances me. If I
Mm,
were to play full time, I would never see my children.
yeah.
So there's no way. So do I need to quit? I don't, because I've this is my 27th year in education.
Wow.
Yeah, so I started when I was very young. Um, and I've been able, now the earlier years were very difficult, but I was able to maneuver. The uncles, I asked them, and I asked all the old timers when I was younger, what's the one thing you regret? And all of them said family.
Mm.
This is, and they said alcohol, but yet they still drank alcohol. I mean, like nonstop, girl, nonstop. So yeah, this alcohol stuff gotta stop. I'm like, what? Okay, hey, go get the other bottle. And because they're old timers, that's the culture.
Yeah.
If the best way to draw a parallel would be blues players, same concept,
Mm.
same concept. And
Yeah.
so these guys are OG, old school, the bottle right before, or wet the a little to wet the whistle is what Cyril would always say, and then get on stage and just crack it out. So yeah, I don't think so. I'm good, but I'm curious. How did you? What are some of your musical inspirations? Because I hear so many people in you, and then plus you. So I want to know. I want to hear from you. Who are some of your musical inspirations?
Gosh. So when I was little, I went to a church that had a lot of music. So most of the music I listened to growing up was church music,
Hmm.
or my dad's '50s music.
Gotcha.
And then I heard the band Hanson,
OMG.
and
Hanson. Is that the
Hans.
doo doo wop wop
Yes,
wop doo
yes, yes,
doo doo?
yes, yes.
Oh,
And
yes.
so I was 12 when I heard them, and I thought, oh, I could do that too. And I
Yeah.
just went and wrote a song because I saw kids my age doing it, and so I
Right.
just did it. And then from there, that was when Lilith Fair was at its peak. All these women with guitars, and so it never dawned on me that it was a male-dominated musical world. I was just like, oh, okay. And
Right.
and I just so the Lilith Fair women, Lisa Loeb, I love Lisa Loeb.
I love Lisa
Um,
Loeb.
she's just got a thing. I love her. Tori
Yeah.
Amos. I love Tori Amos, but she was a huge influence on my writing. Have you listened to her at
Oh
all?
yeah. Yeah.
So, and my producer is her bass player, which is it's just a
That's
cool.
awesome.
But I developed really bad habits because she's very hard to understand her lyrics. She
Right.
mumbles, and I just like thought that that's what you did, so I started
Right.
mumbling on purpose.
Right. Right.
And
Right. Right.
so that's like a thing I'm constantly trying to undo. And then beyond that, I fell in love with Celtic music when I worked at a Renaissance fair.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of that in there too.
Yeah. Your style is truly yours. So that's why it's really neat to hear where your inspirations came from, and I can totally see the Celtic. I actually I love the countryside too, because that country song was sick, but like, I mean, imagine if you just like did like a Garth Brooks and just went all country music and then not even tell anybody it's you. You can like call yourself Betty Lou or something. Holy mackerel. I'd be like, Betty Lou, mom. I was like, because, I mean, we can all take our different genres, but you sound on point. It's very authentic, when the sound is there. So, but
Thank you.
that's the singers. Yeah,
It's so
that's what.
hard as a singer songwriter for me. I think we all are like, I don't want to fit into a box. I'm not
Yeah,
and we all come up with these weird words to describe our music.
yeah.
I came up with a tagline for me. What was it? She's too poppy for folk, and she's too folky for pop. Or
See, there you go. You're your own publicist. You're the ghostwriter. That's how you do it. See, We'll
But
talk.
this new record is a country record.
I like it.
That's what it is.
I
And
like
I
that.
I wasn't going to do this song next, but you were talking about drinking
Yeah, we
in
must.
the
We,
bottle. Um, and and alcoholism is something that keeps popping back into my life through people I love, and it's such a difficult it's really difficult to love somebody as they struggle with something like that. And so I wrote this song really for me as like a catharsis after a breakup that I had years ago with someone who struggled with that.
wow.
um, and so this is called "Put the Bottle Down." I didn't practice this one.
Oh,
Um,
I love it. I don't
so
care.
so we're
Go.
just gonna cross our fingers that I remember the words. Okay, go.
Oh my
Ready?
God, it's a
Here,
song circle.
here we go. Oh, and the trivia question for the earrings. Okay, so I love Renaissance fairs, and my first album was written almost entirely about King Henry VIII and his wives. And so the trivia question is, what was the name of King Henry VIII's fifth wife, and why did she die? I hope that's a good question. Um, here's Put the Bottle Down. The devil's got me, is all you can say when you've been at it again. Some small atonement is all you can give. More flowers dipped in gin. But then you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, standing up and out the door. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, put the bottle down low. Didn't cover it up and let everybody know. Oh, put the bottle down low. Oh, put the storm in the back of your head, running from thunder, hiding under your bed. Oh, who put the storm in your head? And who put the bottle down? The scent of you lies so rich on your breath. God, the wine must flow. I come home dirty from the lengths that you go to make sure Mama don't know. But then you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, standing up then on the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, put the bottle down low. Didn't cover it up and let everybody know. Who put the bottle down low? Who put the storm in the back of your head, running from thunder, hiding under your bed? Oh, who put the storm in your head? And who put the bottle down? I talk you in like a baby. Take your shoes off. Let you say this is the last time. This is the last time. You let everybody know. Who put the bottle down low? Who put the storm in the back of your head, running from thunder, hiding under your bed? Oh, who put the storm in your head? And who put the bottle down?
That was awesome.
Thank you, and thank you, Ernie and Regina. Thank you so much. Do you don't need extra gear when you play because your playing is just so out of this world. But have you ever tried to play with a foot tambourine?
No, but I know people that do. I think that's so cool.
It's cool, but it's like its own kind of torture. It's
You just
it's
gotta
really
figure it. That's like
hard.
you're talking about multitasking, right?
Yeah. It's really hard.
That is so cool. Well, you weren't playing it, were you?
I was trying, but I was doing it softly because I wasn't
Oh,
confident in my twos and fours.
hey, that was really nice.
Thank you.
I tell you, that was super.
Do you
Yeah.
know I'm most excited about in this record that on that song I played the electric guitar, which I never do. Do you
Oh,
play
that,
electric at all?
no, I don't even. I barely even play guitar.
Oh, you're so full of baloney.
Let alone electric guitar. No, no, but isn't that's really cool when you get to use different toys?
Yeah, it just makes music feel fresh again, you know?
Right. Oh yeah, big time. That was so
So,
cool.
thank you. So we need to see those earrings again. And I'm
You
going to
got
ask
it.
was my question really lame? Because I can come up with a better one.
Your question was cool. I mean, I like these earrings. There we go.
I love those
Uh-oh.
earrings.
Keep having to turn these things.
Did you design? There's a print on them too, right?
Yeah, they're prints. So, and then I get them all lasered.
Did you draw that?
No, I just have these ideas. So they're waves and they're all kind of crazy things. And I get other talented people to help me. But this is my design. So this is what is called Kiho Olu. Kiho Olu is Hawaiian slide guitar, but this is what we call Kiho Olu. But it's if you can tell, it's a guitar. It's actually a guitar neck
Oh, that's so
in
cool.
in the design of a Hawaiian, what we call Mauna Kea mountain.
Yes. Oh, I love them. We have a winner.
Oh,
We have
cool.
a winner. Stephanie Sherman answered that question correctly, so she's getting the earrings, right?
There you go. Just DM me because Annette already DM'd me her address. She's in Georgia. We also have people from the Philippines that are listening too. So Wovi, good to see you guys. And yeah, we have a whole bunch of. I mean, yeah, I'm amazed. That's great because I don't know what time it is in the Philippines.
Yeah, I'm curious. So Stephanie is correct that Henry VIII's fifth wife was Catherine Howard, and the interesting part there is that when Henry married her, I think he was in his 50s, and he was not well. Like he had become rather rotund, and historians aren't sure if she was somewhere between the ages of 12 and 15. So she was this young girl married to this old guy, and not well educated whatsoever, and she had an affair with his groom of the stool, and so they both
That's
very
right.
sad. So that's that story. You should probably play something more uplifting.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, you and your questions, girl.
I'll stick to fruit for the next one.
Fruit is good. I like the cranberry one. That was pretty cool.
I have another cranberry one, incidentally.
I thought that was very I was thinking, okay, the dried cranberries are good for like, or the ones that aren't. You're saying the ones that don't hit water, right? That are,
Yes. Yep.
yeah. I thought they were going to be like raisins or cran raisins.
You could do craisins. They have to use the wet picked berries for the craisins. They must because
I love cranberries.
Oh, me too. And harvesting them is really fun. We live on our family has like a compound. It's all these houses surrounding the family bogs. And so harvesting is a family endeavor, and it's a lot of work, but it's such a great time of year.
That's
We're all in it together. Yeah.
I love it. Oh my gosh, did it together. Oh, all
What are
right.
you gonna play for us?
Okay, I think I'll start playing originals now because I love this. It's kind of like the song circle, when
Yes.
when I'm at the camps and I'm playing with all these cats that have like Grammys and stuff, and they think I just play Hawaiian music, and I go, "Oh, can I try something?" And they're like, "I'll go what? Well, I could do stuff too." I'll do stuff This is from my latest album, and so it's pretty cool.
I'm gonna.
There we go. So my latest album is called Far Away, and Far Away is a song that Dennis Kamakahi he composed, believe it or not, in my backyard for his wife. And again, he's a composer of over 300 amazing songs. About a quarter of them are Hawaiian standards, and so he passed away a couple years ago. But there isn't a day that goes by that I don't think of him. And it's good because it keeps me alive. Um, it keeps me on my toes because I'm always asking musically, what would Uncle Dennis do? Or, am I doing this right? Would he be proud? Uh, and so when you have that kind of like inner compass to make sure that the music is still being true and you're continuing within that spirit, I think it's key. Uncle Dennis was a composer. He encouraged us to compose. And so he had said to compose and write about your time. If you don't know who he is, he had composed some songs for Lilo and Stitch. He was on the Descendants movie with George Clooney. Um, and so this is a song that I wrote. And the story behind it, when you listen to it, and it's called Home. I was on my way home from recording the CD, and I was stuck on the tarmac uh, on Kauai for about an hour and a half. And all I wanted to do was go home. I wanted to see my children. I missed my wife. I knew that I had a long flight ahead of me. I just want to go home. So I took a napkin and I started writing this song. And their magazine is called Hawaiian Skies, and so I wrote this. So in the song, I incorporated their magazine in there, Hawaiian Skies. And when people listen to it, Hawaiians think that it's they want to go home. Hawaii is known as home for lots of people. The whole understanding is, hey, when are you going home or to Hawaii? So I'm not from Hawaii, although I have Hawaiian blood in me. It was always important that I learned as much as I could about who I am and my heritage. And there was an identity crisis. It's like, well, I'm from Berkeley, but yet my parents would always speak about Hawaii or home. They would teach us these wonderful things. So does that make me any less Hawaiian because I'm not from Hawaii? So home is wherever you plant your feet. So when you listen to this, that's for all of you folks that are looking, searching, or even just missed that whole sense, right? That whole notion of home. I happen to be home, but as I told, so I was saying, I was in Virginia, Alexandria, Virginia, this weekend, doing some things, and I came back. I came back yesterday, and right back into the classroom, which is great. And I'm sure that we have some teachers that are out there. There we go. Sorry. The thing about Slack Key is that you're always tuning. There we go. Whew. Good. Song called Home. Even though I'm far, far away from home, I'll never ever feel alone. The island breeze keeps whispering to me. It's not about the distance between land or sea, but really where you plant your feet, 'cause home lives in memories in me. Home, 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 I swear nothing can replace the warmth of your embrace. I said home, home, home. It doesn't matter where I plant my feet. Hawaiian skies will always be with me. Oh, I'm grounded like a rock, and I just know The island's beauty is in my thoughts, 'cause home is the reason why I sing. Home, home, home. I swear nothing can replace the warmth of your embrace. I said home, home, home. It doesn't matter where I plant my feet. Hawaiian skies will always be with me. Hawaiian skies will always be with me. Song called Home.
Bravo. Oh,
I like home.
I love, love, love it. The
Home.
the concept of home is really fascinating to me as a songwriter because I find that that's where my mind wants to go every time I write.
Right.
Um, so not quite the same thing here, but so my family we lost our home that we'd had for 30 years. We had to stand in the driveway and watch it get auctioned off,
Oh
which
my
was
God.
really awful. It was an awful traumatic experience, and I kept trying to think to myself, like, why was that? Why did that hurt so much? Because it was just a
Right.
building.
Right.
But every time I get to a point in my life where I think about or I want to relax, or like a yoga instructor says, clear your mind and go to a place that feels safe. That's where I go. Is that
Right.
house that I can't go to anymore. And
Crazy.
I wonder if that, for people like for Hawaiians who have live on the mainland now, is it
Right.
that same hurt? I don't know how else to explain it.
It's the same feeling though, that sense of home. We all have our sense of home and where it is. And your sense is that, you know, your house, that's your home.
Yeah.
I'm from Berkeley, but we have no more home there. Although that's my town. The closest thing I have to a home is the Freight and Salvage, which is um, which is a music venue, and that's where I grew up. That's where I saw all these amazing singer songwriters. And fast forward 30 years, who would have known I'd be hanging out and talking to like Janice Ian and eating sushi with her and all these other like big time amazing singer songwriters that played a huge part in who we are today, in our own society, and especially with Janice Ian. I'm a huge fan of her songwriting, but she also loves sushi, so we just at these camps we just chill, afterwards, and after she does her celebrity thing, we go and eat sushi. Feels great. I'm like, I'm eating sushi with Janice Ian. This is sick. Janice, don't worry about it. I got this, girl. I got
She
this.
no, I'm going to be completely ignorant here. She did this. I learned the truth at 17.
Yes.
Okay, thank God.
you know so yeah, so folks like them, that they're all the staff at Swananoa Gathering, all these folks. But yeah, it's just that whole thing, home, in us being musicians and being on the road. That's why I don't. It's almost like I have a lifeline. Like I'm off to Virginia, but then I'm right back. It's like that lifeline. It's like, time's up. Gotta go. I gotta get back. Sorry. And then now with you having a little one as well too, and 3 girls, your responsibility changes. Your husband is supportive. My wife is supportive, but we look at it now differently, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
And like you were mentioning earlier, everything I do is with the intent or the thought that I want it to somehow make my son's life better or give him something that he can be proud of when I'm gone. It's
Right.
just neat how that dynamic changes. And
Right.
I hope that with time, my concept of home will become more of the people than that particular location. It's humans are fascinating creatures of the way we cling on to to location and things. Um,
Right.
Ken thinks that's pretty awesome that you met Janice Ian and had sushi with her. And Sally said that she lived in Tracy, California,
Oh, it's Sally Tracy. That's not
and
far.
and she did house concerts for 2 years back there.
Yeah, that's not far. That's not far at all. I mean, from me, that's maybe about an hour, because I have to go over the Altamont, so she knows.
Yeah. My
Wow.
only knowledge of California is I went to LA when I was 17 and I did this tour with a bunch of in my mind at 17 they were a bunch of old guys, but but
Where'd you
they
where'd you play?
were. So it was the guitarist from Badfinger,
Uh-huh.
no matter what you
Yeah.
are, and the drummer from AC/DC, and Greg Douglas, who lives in California, from the Steve Miller Band. He wrote
Yeah.
Jungle Love, and Carmina Peace, who wrote If You Want My Body and You Think I'm Sexy. But
Yeah.
I didn't know any of those songs or any of those people, so I'm just like, I don't know. I'm in LA with some guys.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Look at you.
Well, I wish, that was a long time ago now, and I wish I had known the level of person or musician that I was hanging out with.
Right.
Because,
Yeah, that's crazy.
sometimes things are wasted on kids, man.
I tell you. I'll tell you. Man.
So here's my plan. We have roughly 10 minutes left, and I'm going to play a new song that may or may not be good. I
I
don't
love
know
it.
because I have no audience to test it on.
I'm here.
So your job, Patrick,
You fan.
Pat,
You call me Patty. We're family. Call me
okay, I
Patty.
desperately want to be friends with you, by the way.
Call me Patty.
Okay, Patty. So your job is going to be to play a song that can save mine if mine's terrible.
And then maybe we can I've never done this before, but maybe you can do a song and then yeah. Okay. Just point to me and I'll be ready for anything.
Okay, so if my song really blows, then you're going to do something really, really great.
That's going to be similar to your song.
So we have one more pair of earrings. Did you want to do one more pair
Yeah,
of earrings? Okay,
please. I
here's
want
my
to get
trivia.
the turtles. I'm going to get
Ooh,
the turtles.
those are awesome. Okay, this is a visual trivia.
Ooh, she's visual.
This is heavy. Can anybody identify what this item is?
Hella big. It's for a giant. It's a pick comb for a giant.
See? Use your creative brain.
It is King Kong shaving attachment.
Yes, that is exactly what it is.
Is it something that has to do with wool?
No.
Definitely not cranberries, girl.
Oh, somebody already got it.
No.
Leonard got it.
What?
It is a cranberry scoop. Yes. And so in dry harvest, if you can picture a bog, they're low and then there's these rounded edges. And the pickers that we use can't get all the
awesome.
edges. So you would use a scoop like this to kind of get the edges. But my mom used to harvest cranberries back in the 60s
Wow.
when it was all like that. And hard back-breaking labor.
That's crazy.
Right on, Leonard won the turtle
Leonard,
earrings.
I would guess, but I only because you're, that's awesome. Leonard, I'm impressed.
I know. So I don't know what this song's about. I don't know what to say about this song. But it was one of those ones, you pick up your instrument and you just go, and you just follow the melody or the words wherever they take you. And so that's what this is. And
Nice.
anybody's welcome to deduce the meaning because I just don't know.
I love it.
And just one more time, want to mention if you can contribute to our tip jar, that would be really, really wonderful. Artists are some of the smallest businesses that were impacted the past year. And if you can't, please follow us on our social media and follow the Virtual World Tour Spotify playlist, which you can find on my Spotify channel. And I'll also be posting a link to it tomorrow. We're all looking for something that the world may not give. We go through the motions, waiting to live. But every single day isn't gonna be a battle. Every single day isn't gonna be a storm. Better hold on tightly to the saddle, or you're gonna get thrown. We're all moved by the money, but we've got none left to give. The devil's got you thinking He's got time in a sieve, but every single day isn't gonna be a battle. Every single day isn't gonna be a storm. Better hold on tightly to the saddle, or you're gonna get thrown. And I believe God could be a mother. I don't think love's so hard to do. You can look deeper than the Father. Love can be cruel, but it don't have to. You think you lost the motion, you're stuck in your ruts. Everybody else is moving forward, but you ain't got the guts. But every single day doesn't have to be a battle. Every single day doesn't have to be a storm. Better hold on tightly to the saddle, or you're gonna get thrown. And I believe God could be a mother. I don't think love's so hard to do. You can look deeper than the Father. Love can be cruel, but it don't have to.
That passed. You know, and what I notice about your songs too, there's some hidden meanings in there, girl.
Yeah.
You know that you, I mean, coming from you, there's some you have some higher power hidden meanings in there. I love how it's something you had said about higher than the father or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I've listened to some of your other songs, I'm like, yeah, because that's what I do, and my day job is I'm surrounded by things, like that, and how do we make it, where the student body realizes it, but we're not really like, in your face, That's awesome.
True. Thank you. Thank
I
you, and
love.
thank you, Ken and Dave. But you know how it is when you don't have someone to try a song out on. It's hard to, because you're not. What's the word I'm looking for? Objective
Right.
when you've created when you've created something. I was just thinking about the religious piece of it, because music in church where I grew up was just such a big part of the service.
Right.
And influenced my life in some really, really big ways. I don't attend church anymore, although I think I'm spiritual. I just haven't figured out what
Right.
that means for me, except that when I was growing up, it was a very born-again church.
Gotcha.
And so we were told, the devil is real, and if the devil comes near you, you just need to say the name of Jesus, and he will go away. And so to this day, that like sometimes you just get creeped out and you don't know why. The thing that I do is sing my church songs. It's always, and it's always the same one. It's always this, the Lord reigneth, the Lord reigneth. Like in the middle of the night, I get creeped out and I just start singing that song
You're
anyway.
so awesome. I love you, Grace.
I love you.
You are like my favorite. No, because I don't do it, you do it, and I love it. And when you appreciate stuff like, I'm like, oh my God. Like when you start playing stadiums, can I open for you?
Can you
I
just play with me?
Yeah. Oh my god. I will play. I will just do. I'll add. We can do like a Jack Johnson type of thing where
Yes.
I can like do the Jack licks and and all that kind of stuff. So
Yes. 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 I'm
yeah.
in.
Or maybe we can both open for Jack Johnson. I'll just call him.
I'm also in for that. And then we can have poke bowls afterward.
That's what I'm talking about. That's
Yes.
hustle.
Yes.
That's the
Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. It has been such an honor for me to share Patrick Landeza with the people who tune in with me every Monday. You are just one of the absolute gems that I would never have discovered were it not for the hell of the past year. Like
Bruce. Yes.
so I've been trying to find the things that I'm grateful for the past year, and you're one of them.
Oh my God. When I listen to your Spotify, I'm going to be like, she says, I'm one of the grateful things that she experiences.
Yes.
And then I'm going to listen to the song that you wrote for your husband's ex wife. And I'm going to be like, yes,
Which one?
the one, my favorite one. I was like, this is awesome. She did. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. The best girl. I ain't never known anyone that wrote a song about a husband's ex-wife before in my life. I mean, I still
that is fertile ground
have
for art.
that's girl. That's like in Hawaii. We write songs about stuff, but we there's like 2 or 3 different meanings. We bury it deep, right? But you just came out straight, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Even my wife was like, yeah, that's awesome. We listened to you that night. We're like, yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
You crazy. That's some songwriting.
Oh,
That's some songwriting genius right there.
thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. So
Oh,
tomorrow, everybody, please, I'm going to put the Spotify playlist link on my profile, and I'll send it to Patrick, and maybe he can put it on his, and you all can follow my Spotify playlist. So I do this every Monday night. I call it my virtual world tour, and the idea was that I feel like music can be competitive, but we all are better when we lift each other up. So I'm just really hoping that you'll all listen to the playlist and find some independent artists that you love, because there's really wonderful people on there. And not one of them is a jerk. Like every single person in that playlist is a really cool person. Trust me.
I know a lot
so-
of jerks.
I know some jerks too. So where are you going to leave us with? Is it going to be an audible lint truffle?
Ooh. Yeah. Like in a set, right? In Hawaiian music, you leave everybody with just a song that cracks everybody. It's just like, wow, bam. But I love this, and it's evening time where you are, and I want to give you a song that I never do,
Okay.
and we put it on the album, and again, I guess it's more for me, Grace. I find peace on thanking the people that helped me get to where I am today. I find peace in it. And I think I've mentioned that so many times where I was trained by the masters, and I've gotten a lot of people when they say, oh, he's not real because he's from the mainland or he's born on the mainland. And so when I was younger, it kind of took away from me, but now I'm so much stronger, and it kind of helps when you start winning Hawaiian Grammys. But and people
Wait, you did.
yeah,
You did. He won a Hawaiian Grammy.
Yeah.
What is the name of the award?
it's the Nahoku Hanohano Award, and that's when your peers vote for you, not the people, but your peers.
That
And I'm
says something.
the only artist from the mainland, the first in 34 years, the only what they call me a non-resident. Even the freaking name sounds horrible, but when they told me that I would never amount to anything, and it was the uncles that always said, never mind what they say, never mind. And it was my mother. My mother would always say, don't listen to them, but forgive them and pray for them. And so with these things, and leaving you this evening, instead of doing this upbeat, let's go home, good night all, I want to say mahalo to all of you folks, and to thank you so much for listening and supporting Grace, and to my teachers and to my mother. This is what I want to leave you with. I had to do a song, and I wrote the song in Costco. And I just felt the spirit in Costco. So I'm like using my phone so I don't forget it. And at the time, we had lost these legends of Hawaiian music, slack key, guitar. And for half of my life, I started off as their roadie, and their assistants. And then I turned into an opener, and then they taught me how to produce. And it was my job to take care of them. But, now they're not here, but yet you transition as an artist, as a person. But nonetheless, we continue to sing their praises, and I give thanks to them. And so I wrote the song for those people that I miss, and it was them. But most importantly, I wrote it for my father, who I'm very grateful for as well too. I would like to share this. I've never done this. Did it one time live a couple weeks ago, but it's on my new CD, and it goes a little like this. It's called "Close to You." If I could only take their hand one more time, it'd be so much that I would tell them. But most off, thank you. I wanna be close to you. I wanna be just like you. Take my hand, I'll follow you. I wanna be just like you. I wanna be just like you. Spirit within me, branching like a mighty tree, rooted deep in memories, those who came before me. Wanna be close to you. I wanna be just like you. Take my hand, I'll follow you. I wanna be just like you. I wanna be just like you. You taught me how to love, to trust in what I do, to live and laugh, to search and cry. For all this I thank you. I wanna be close to you. I wanna be just like you. Take my hand, I'll follow you. I wanna be just like you. I wanna be just like you. I hear your voice within me, reminding me just who I am. I see you in the faces of family and friends. I wanna be close to you. I wanna be just like you. Take my hand, I'll follow you. I wanna be just like you. I wanna be just like you. I wanna be just like you. I see you in the faces of family and friends. I know you are always with me. And although you're gone in this world, we will meet again one day in the next world. Close to you. I leave you with that, folks.
Weeping. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. And if you won some of those, I'm just crying. If you won some of those earrings, then private message Patrick and everybody. Please make sure to check out his website, landezapresents.com.
Yeah.
No, patricklandeza.com.
They all link to the same place, girl. It don't matter. They all go to the same. Like me on all those thingies, and
like him on the things.
yeah,
Buy his
it's
food,
like
buy
me.
his earrings.
Yeah, buy my earrings.
Thank you.
I mean, buy my CDs. That's all.
Yes, all of it. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.